everybody. Hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In The Mix, episode number 39, creeping towards 40, which we will hopefully get by the end of this week or over this weekend if everything goes according to plan, because we've got a huge North American Champions League semi-final two-leg tie that we're going to try and bring you guys today. If you haven't gone and checked out the early episodes from this week, please go and have a look at them. They'll bring you up to date on the journey so far, the tactic, the team, all that sort of fantastic stuff as we make our way around the continents for the Pentagon Challenge, which of course will continue in today's episodes, but we've got a whole bunch of stuff we want to recap and two huge Champions League games. So let's jump in and see how we've gotten on. All right, first and foremost, sitting right up at the top of the table there at the moment in first spot, Club America, 15 games played, plus 25 goal difference, 41 points. We have pulled ahead of Monterrey. They have lost a game, which was actually to us. We had a big 3-1 victory. More on that result to come in a moment. And they've lost their way a little bit since then. 2 draws to follow it up has allowed us to jump back above them. Still undefeated at this point of the year, 13 games played, 2 draws in that period, no defeats as yet. But some big fixtures to come and some big matchups against the likes of Cruz Azul, Chivas, Tigres, Monterrey, those sort of teams. So there's still plenty of football to be played between now and the end of the league season. But as far as everything could go at the moment, it's pretty close to perfect, and undefeated is a great way to be. If we go and have a look at the results since our last game, of course, that 2-legged victory against Tigres, we went through 5-4 overall. A 1-1 draw in the second leg was enough to get us through, thankfully. If they had gotten a goal, they would have gone through on away goals based on us not really doing that well in terms of stopping them scoring in the first leg. And to be honest, I think having the home leg, first leg last time out, kind of punished us a little bit because we weren't really attacking in that, and that perhaps gave them a window back into the game. In the first leg against Houston in the first knockout stage, second leg was at home, and again today, Sporting Kansas, we've got the second leg at home, and I think that's really going to help the way that we kind of set up our structures, trying to defend in the first leg and then really go after and attack in the second match, which is hopefully a little bit more open and free-flowing. But since those contests, we had that huge win against Monterrey 3-1 that we already mentioned. We beat Querétaro 2-1, a very late performance here. Tonico getting a 94th minute winner, which was fantastic for us. That saw us go top of the table. And then a 2-0 victory over Morelia in pretty straightforward circumstance the last time out. And during that passage in that period as well, we've actually had a few different players out with yellow card suspensions. So it's kind of refreshed everybody a little bit, where we've now got a good gap for the last few games of the closing stage. And then there will, of course, be a knockout period. So I think regardless of what happens in this Champions League tie today, we may potentially bring you guys to the end of the league season over the weekend just to try and close out and hopefully get ourselves into another cup final scenario, albeit a domestic one, even though we're aiming for these continental trophies. The squad is pretty close to fully fit. We have brought welcome back Luis Miguel Silva. He was kind of the player that we were trying to get back for the last round of fixtures in the Champions League. He's back and fully fit. His replacement, Beni, has got a bit of a knock, but he should be enough, I think, to get on the bench for us today and be there as an option if we need to call about him. The only other person that's out is Raul Gonzalez. He's out 3 days to 2 weeks. I will be fascinated to see if between the week of the first and second leg he can actually get back fully fit. It would be great if he can, and we can get him out there in the lineup because he's a super important player to us, playing as that inside forward on the left. But even if we doesn't, Jeannot Louis has been pretty good over the last couple of games jumping into that role. So I'm consistently happy with the depth, and I think we're getting actually a consistent lineup out there, which is another huge part of it as well. Tactically, we are going to go with pretty much our default setting that's been lately. We're going to go with our more possession-based style, this positive 5-2-3 that we've been using in away legs all throughout this save, and just with different shapes and whatever else. And we are going to go with our attacking one in the home leg to really go after it and be a bit more aggressive and hopefully secure our place in the final for the first time and in our first season in North America, which would be absolutely huge. The lineup we're going to do that with is Alcantara in goal, Vassallo, Gonzalez and Padilla as the central defensive partnership. Gonzalez playing as the libero on support. Ebert William is the left wing back. He'll play as an inverted wing back today. Debari is the inverted wing back on the right. D'Alessandro and Mendoza as the midfield duo, with Louis, Tonico and Silva leading the lines up top. Tonico going from strength to strength at the moment, still only 19, still our main wonder kid. All of his key stats for the role we're asking him to do are improving consistently as well. We're playing him as this complete forward, and pretty much everything there is already double figures, and a lot of the key traits are already up towards 16s and 17s. So even if we can't keep hold of him this season, he might be someone that we try and drag with us to South America or drag with us to Europe if he continues to develop at this rate. 15 goals and 15 league appearances, absolutely phenomenal from the January signing. And his Champions League form ain't too bad either, 7.22. He's been an absolute beast and he'll be super important for us in this tie as well. Now, we did do a bit of a preview of Sporting Kansas City. They're playing this 4-4-2 structure and shape. They've got a couple of different Brazilian players in there. They've got a couple of different designated players who are mostly more experienced US internationals. Their forward and their left winger. We'll keep an eye on those guys in this tie. But we were pretty comfortable against Houston, and they were the reigning defending MLS champions. So I'm hopeful we can get a good result here against Sporting Kansas as well. They have got the first highlight of the match, though. Reverse pass here finds Baird, who is their US international, and inside a minute, they've actually gone a goal up. So potentially, I've just jinxed everything by saying we should be comfortable. It's pretty route one football as well, to be honest. Barone with the ball here, and Aaron with a reverse pass straight down the middle. The defense should be doing better. We've got a whole bunch of bodies back there and just didn't cover the angle, and it's a good finish from Baird. Gets it down on his right-hand foot and then right-hand foot. I keep doing that, I'm not sure why. Right-hand side and side-footing that one home. So we've got a little bit of an uphill battle now, but we have pulled back a shot of our own in the opening 10 minutes and we're starting to get a few highlights coming through now. So hopefully we can get a foothold in this game and really start to put our feet down. The ball is from the centre back here out to Campbell on the right-hand side. I'd expect this 4-4-2 to be kind of tricky to break down, but it does look like they are committing both fullbacks forward and maybe one of the midfielders there, Barone, sitting a little bit deeper. That could be a challenge. We don't have a natural pressing player at that number 10 spot to really go to a deep-lying midfielder if they play one. Aaron with the strike from distance, and we're 2-0 down here. 6th goal of the season, 20 minutes in. I'm going to throw a demand more shout out there because that's pretty horrific. They're saying it's Silva's error that led to the goal. He did give the ball away there, but they had a lot to do from that point on. Gustavo plays it Chicao, and now Chicao to Aaron, who just rifles it in from 25 yards. Hard to say that Silva's responsible for that. He did give away a pass, but I feel like they played 3 consecutive passes and then cracked it in from 30 yards. That's a bit harsh from the commentary team. And they have had 2 shots, 2 on target, and a 2-0 up for 0.51 XG. If you ever needed more faith that XG is a crock of shit, that might be it. We're going to throw a demand more shout out with about 10 minutes remaining in the half. And if we get to half time, at least at the current scenario, we know exactly what our strategy will be for the second half, which is basically just going hell for leather, trying to get a goal. Wide set piece here towards Louis and towards backstick. It's cleared away. He might get another chance at it, but they do recover. Dabari to D'Alessandro. Mendoza forward to Louis again, who gets goal side and pulls the goal back. All right, so that makes it 2-1, and it's a valuable away goal. And that's without us doing any tactical tweaks or changes or anything like that. So D'Alessandro with the initial ball. Then Mendoza goes over the top. Louis stays just onside. It's the left back that keeps him on, brings it down well on his chest, and slide foots it home. Slide foots it. What's going on with me and feet today? Like, this is... And it's not even today. It's been all week that I've just been all sorts of tongue-tied. But at halftime, 2-1 down. 3 shots, 2 on target, 0.61 XG, and 60% of the ball for Sporting Kansas City. 6 shots, 4 on target, 0.45 XG, and 40% of the ball for Club America. We're going to go into the dressing room. We're going to thrash our arms around a little bit. Everyone seems kind of focused. I'm going to go and say that everyone's got the ability to make a difference, and a few seem to have responded well. And we're going to go to our bread and butter, our attacking-based, more pressing style. If we can get a second goal away from home, I think we'll be in good shape heading into the home leg. But that first half performance wasn't great. Dabari with the throw in here early on in the second half. Switch out to Ebert William, finds Louis again, and I think he just clipped the absolute crossbar there. It did see the commentary coming up with an absolute sitter. This is late night FM as well. You guys can probably tell when I've recorded it fresh and when I've recorded at the end of a long day. Ball in here to Gustavo Jean. Reverse pass to Correa, and they've found a third one. How has he found this finish? We're going to check this out in 3 dimensions. Chicao with the ball across. Gustavo Jean plays it towards the back stick, and he is onside. There were a few players there in the build-up, and he goes first time finish. Alcantar probably should have done better. And they make it 3-1 right as we get towards the hour mark. The plus side is we can make adjustments and we can try and turn this one around a little bit. There's a few poor match ratings out there. Should I focus on those, or should I focus more on the individual condition of the players? It's never good to have a 6.3 defender out there. So we're going to switch Padilla to the libero role, and Gonzalez will come off for Daniel Maffei. The wingbacks I'll leave out there. Then we're going to switch and we're going to go on condition for the other 2 subs. Luis Miguel Silva, a little bit underdone. We'll bring on Bonilla, see if we can't get something out of him, even though he's not fully fit. And then D'Alessandro we're going to take off. We're going to bring on Junko, who can play a similar role and is basically a like-for-like substitution. And then we're also going to throw out a demand more shout just to see if we can't get everyone back up. You're never doing well if your keeper's on a 6.3. So potentially we're going to have, for the first time, I think, in this contest, or in the North American Champions League at least, a real challenge to try and overturn a deficit in the second leg. We're going to throw one more demand more shout out there, and we do have a throw in here, left-hand side. Good turn there from Louis. gets the 18-yard box, finds Bonilla, who does put one back. So the sub pulls another one back for us and makes it 3-2 in the tie. And these 2 away goals could be huge. We saw how nerve-wracking it was for us with Tigres in the previous round with those goals in hand they had, or those away goals that they had. And potentially every goal we can get back here in the first leg away from home is going to be an added advantage once we do get back to Mexico and drag Kansas along with us. 4 minutes of additional time to be added on. We have taken a lead statistically in pretty much every category except possession, but full time's called. It's a 3-2 defeat, our first defeat in quite a while, to be honest. But we really turned that around in the second half. 17 shots, 10 on target, 1.79 XG, and 45% of the ball. Not quite getting back full control of possession, but definitely a 5% swing from half time is decent. And you can see the XG here. We went flying beyond them. I'm going to say unlucky, boys. It would have been nice to win, but wasn't meant to be. And most players seem motivated, which is great. I just don't want anyone to lose heart based on one defeat. And in the other game, Toronto and Real Salt Lake played out a 0-0 draw. So that tie also with it all to play for in the second leg. And even though we've lost, I'm not super devastated. I think we can beat them. And I think they did score some very good goals. Aaron got the man of the match award, an 8.1 for his absolute long-range cracker. And it says, Las Aguias made Taru miss chances, which did kind of feel like it when you look at the shots count there, but shots doesn't always mean good chances created. Anyway, I'm getting too analytical about it, and we don't really need to. We've got one game in the league away from home against Cruz Azul, which we're going to play off screen. And magic of editing, we're going to jump forward now to the second leg and hopefully go through our lineup before we kick off in that match. All right, so jumping back in, we had a huge 2-0 victory in the game midweek against Cruz Azul. A little bit of revenge because they did beat us in the opening stage semi-finals, which we played off screen, but I remembered it, so hopefully you guys remembered it as well. And hopefully that momentum kind of kicks us on a little bit, because for the first time in really this whole series, we've got a first leg deficit that we're trying to overturn in the Champions League. But I think we can do it. I think they showed enough when we made that tactical adjustment, is that if we go out and play our more attacking based style at home from the off, that we can get goals. And if we can outscore them because of the away goals we got in the first leg, we should be in a great position. We will keep one eye as well on the Real Salt Lake and Toronto game, because if we make it through, potentially they're going to be the finalists that we play off against. And it could even be a one-season wonder here in North American if we can get these Champions League titles sorted. So we are going with an unchanged lineup. Now, potentially Bonilla could come in and start. I'm going to go with Luis Miguel Silva, even though the commentary said that he had a bit of an issue. And Raul Gonzalez, he's probably the other one that would start if he was fully fit. But he's not quite there yet, and it's not recommended that he actually plays at any point. So we'll give him another week, and hopefully by taking our time with it and we get through to a final, we will then have the opportunity to start him from the off. But Jeannot Louis scored in the last game. His form run over the last 5 games, 7.28. He's been performing quite well. It would be harsh to drop him out of the side for a player returning from injury anyway. So we'll have faith in him. We'll see how we go. And hopefully we'll push on to try and get a good result, a good performance, and a good few goals to get us through to the final as well. I'm going to outstretch arms for this one, which I don't do too often. I'm just going to say, I want you to pick up where you left off last time. It hasn't quite worked. So we're just going to tell the rest of the team that we've got faith in them. And most of them seem motivated or focused, which is exactly what we want. We're, of course, playing our 5-2-3. We will see if Kansas change from their 4-4-2 or if they keep it consistent. It looks like they've got pretty close to an unchanged lineup. It was Aaron that got the man of the match award last time out. They are missing that forward, though, that scored for them, whose name I've already forgotten, but the US international forward that they had up top in the first leg. First throw in here is flicked on from into the box, and potential for a counter-attack here for Kansas coming the other way. Aaron out to Gustavo Jean, one of their Brazilian wingers. Now Savoni on the overlap, fullbacks getting forward to support still, so they are quite aggressive in their attacking instructions. Louis with the good press there in midfield. Now Shakau. Good possession play here from Kansas. They got the overlap here now on the left-hand side. Savoni, Dabari goes out to him. It's a ball towards back stick, and the flick-on header from the edge of the area didn't have a whole lot of pace on it, but second game in a row, the first highlight has gone Sporting Kansas's way. Last time out, we were a goal down by this stage, so I should probably focus on the positive there. There is a highlight coming here. Padilla's going to recover possession under no pressure. And he looks to bring it forward and play it down the right to Silva, who can beat a man in a 1v1. Dabari's there with him, finds him now. Going to look for the cutback from the byline towards Silva near post. It pinballs around and they do scramble it away. Now McDonald comes the other way. Reverse pass to Aaron. Good intervention there from Aaron Gonzalez. We need a big game from him as the libero. He's been getting a few 6.4s, 6.5s lately. Long ball forward though. He let run there and he was thankfully bailed out by Padilla. Alec Cantar should get this one all the way through as the sweeper keeper, and a ball forward to D'Alessandro in midfield. Now Gonzalez switch out to the right-hand side to Silva. Again, he's got overlapping runners there with him, and a good header there from Tonico straight at Gabay in goal for Sporting Kansas. First real shot in anger that we've had throughout the contest so far. And a good little work passage there down the right-hand side. Ebert William with the throw in here from the left, 21 minutes played. Louis in possession, back to Ebert William. Now Louis again towards Tonico. First time he's found feet really inside the box, and he did get a strike away, but was closed down well by the Sporting defence before they managed to scramble it into touch. And so far, not too bad, but they have got a set piece here from distance. It'll be Aaron to take, who scored in the first leg, and he's gotten it on target, and thankfully we do scramble it away. I don't know if Alcantara got something on that or if it hit the crossbar, but we ride our luck just a little bit, and with 10 minutes remaining in the half, we're going to throw a Demand Morshed out there. Dabari with a throw-in deep on the right-hand side. Tries the early cross, which wasn't quite there. McDonald will recover for Kansas. Back to Baroni. Now Chakao. Baroni at the base of midfield might cause us some issues. Gonzalez with another good intervention. He's been busy here in the first half. Louis comes flying forward and goes to drive. He beat a couple of men, but then the strike was a bit wild, never challenging the keeper or anywhere near on target. And keep an eye as well on some of their player conditioning as well. They maybe potentially have had games midweek similar to us that may be trying to overcome. And at halftime, as it's called, 14 shots, 3 on target, 1.27 XG, and 51% of the ball for Club America. 2 shots, 1 on target, 0.1 XG, and 49% possession for Sporting Kansas. But I feel like the highlights that we've seen, even if they aren't shots on target, they have really had as many opportunities as we have. I'm going to go thrash arms and say we owe Sporting Kansas after what happened in the last game, and most players seem motivated or focused, which is fantastic. Corner here, Louis to take towards back stick. It's a good header from Vassallo, but over the crossbar, and I think the keeper had it covered. Real Salt Lake have taken a lead in the other contest. We only need 1 goal here. That would be enough for us to go through on away goals. D'Alessandro to Vassallo here. Now Mendoza, good little pocket of play here. Tonico comes deep to try and pick it up. Tries to find Ebert William, who forces a ball that maybe wasn't on. Now Chakao, forward to Aaron, who's been quite busy in these little half spaces, playing as a deeper forward. Ball in behind for McDonald, and he's found him. And now we're going to have to score 2 in the remaining 40 minutes of the contest, which would be, I'm not going to say devastating, but it would be very, very frustrating. Aaron, he's done quite well here, and he's allowed to turn and carry the ball into space, and nobody goes to the ball, and Alcantara gets his angles all wrong, and by the time he actually makes his dive, the ball's already past him, and McDonald just has to slide that one into the back of an empty net, and that could be an absolutely huge deficit if we can't recover it immediately. There's a ball here with D'Alessandro, now Silva down the right-hand side. If we get a goal back here before making subs, and we do indeed, it's Janet Louis, who again we spoke about in the build-up, as a player that was potentially filling in on the right-hand side for the injured Rodriguez, and it's good play here from Silva as well. Wingers combining to drag a goal back. It's a good first-time finish, just leathers that one back across the goalkeeper, who change direction, keeps him a little bit behind the play, and it makes it 4-3. 1 more goal would be enough for us. All right, so we're through the hour as well. We're going to hit pause. We're going to do this emotionless, right? Miguel Silva's going to come off because he's got a little bit conditioning that's struggling a little bit. Mendoza's coming off because he's not played particularly well and his condition's struggling. Junko will come on for him. Benela will come in at right wing back, and then Salvato will come in at left back because Ebert Williams only on a 6.5, even though I think that's a little bit harsh. I don't think he's been that bad. But we're going to tell everyone we've got faith in them, and they all look inspired and motivated. Now, if any of them can contribute to a goal or an assist, that would be absolutely fantastic. It would be devastating, I think, to pull that goal back and then for the remaining 30 minutes not be able to create a second opportunity or chance. There is a goal kick here, starting with the keeper, long ball forward. D'Alessandro recovers for us in midfield and goes all the way back to Alcantara. Now Salvado, across to Dabari, risky ball, but we do get away with it. Bonilla now on the right-hand side, fresh sub, gets the ball, looks to cut it back towards Tonico. It's cleared away by the Kansas defence. Now D'Alessandro again, Salvado to Junko, switch out to Dabari. Can he find a good ball in? Overlapping run finds Junko, and that was a huge, huge chance. He's just put it beyond the far post. It might have even been closed down by the defence. Louis with the corner. It's a poor ball in, to be fair, and Aaron heads it away emphatically. Tries to put one back in. Might even get a third chance at it, but the highlight comes to an end. All right, we're going to throw a Demand Morshed out there. We're into the last 10 minutes and we need another goal to try and find it. If we're going to do it, we are leaving it very, very late, which is quite frustrating. And the highlights have dried up for us a little bit. We've got one here on the left-hand side. Throw in towards Louis. Now D'Alessandro can put a ball back in. Switch out to Dabari on the overlap on the far side. Closed down by Gustavo Jean. Back to Alessandro again. Now Padilla, just wait for the press to come. Don't force the ball in. Bonilla, right-hand side, tries to get it in. D'Alessandro towards back stick. It's cleared away by the Kansas defense. It's very tense at the moment. Junko finds Louis on the reverse pass and goodbye with a huge save in goal for Sporting Kansas. Have I got any more shouts up my sleeve? I do. I've got one more demand more shout I can use for extra time, of which there's going to be 4 minutes. Salvado out to Louis. Can he find the cutback? He's closed down well. Backs to the wall defending here for Sporting Kansas. And the extra time is ticking away. I don't think we're going to get it. We're falling at the semi-final stage. Devastating. And you know what? It's probably because I made the wrong decision in the first leg to not be a bit more aggressive and not be a bit more attacking. If we had been on our attacking instruction the entire time, which has gotten us to this great result in the league, would we potentially still be in the competition? In the end, 24 shots, 7 on target, 2.62 XG, 45% possession for Club America, 7 shots, 4 on target, 0.99 XG, and 55% of the ball for Sporting Kansas. I think I have to chalk that one up to my own error and my own mistake, which is disappointing, but it does mean we get another year in Mexico, which I'm fine with that part of it. That part's no drama at all. I'm going to say that simply put wasn't good enough. We should have won that match, and everyone seems motivated, which is good, but it's disappointing to fall at that stage, and it means all Mexican teams are out as well. So 1-1 on the night, 4-3 Sporting Kansas go through, and Real Salt Lake will be the team that they go up against, beating Toronto 2-0 across that tie and in that second leg as well. That is frustrating, I'm not going to lie. We get a little bit of cash, which is handy because we've gone into negative deficit, which isn't my fault because I've not spent a crazy amount of money, but we'll see what the budgets look like for next season. And Ebert William gets a bit of a fine as well. So that might be, we're either going to try and get him in permanently, or we might have to look to try and regroup and potentially improve that wing-back spot because we don't actually own him outright. He's only on loan with us at the moment. Interesting though, interesting. I think I've made that mistake there, and that one's going to haunt me for the rest of the week, I can already tell. So looking at the schedule, I'm going to leave this up to you guys, right? Because I probably don't do this part enough, which is allow you guys to kind of help make decisions about what content you want to see. If you want to see the end of this season, and maybe the regular season closeout or potentially the closing stage knockout rounds, if those are an actual thing like the opening stage, let me know in the comment section below. If not, we will come back next week with the start of a new season and hopefully the start of a new Champions League campaign to introduce you guys to the squad, a whole bunch of new players, and it'll give me time over the weekend to do like a full off season, which I probably do need, given that games and seasons have been coming relatively thick and fast for you guys. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you guys would prefer to see. If you want to see the end of this season, or if you prefer we start next week, jumping forward a little bit, and episode 40 is the beginning of the next year in Mexico and hopefully getting that Champions League title at our second attempt. Oh man, late night FM, sometimes it's great. Sometimes you just sit there and wonder, if I had done this tomorrow morning during the day, would I have been more switched on to it? But we fall to a decent side. Again, it would have been great to, I guess, spend just the one season really catching up some of the years in North America, but I'm not devastated or anything like that. We get another year with this great Mexico side. Hopefully a lot of the young players we've brought in will be 12 months better and more improved next season. And if we're already at the semi-final stage of that Champions League, surely it won't be long before we're getting ourselves into the final and an opportunity to try and win that title as well. So plenty to focus on, plenty to be positive about, and let us know what you guys want to see for this weekend's episode or next week's episode, depending on your preferences. But if you want to support the channel, you can drop a like on this video. It helps us get higher in YouTube search results when people look for Football Manager content. You can also subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all of our future videos. And of course, go and check out reserveteam.com.au and the Reserve Team YouTube channel for all fantastic stuff Australian New Zealand football, which I am a part of each and every week. But more than anything, as always, thank you so much for watching. That's the part I appreciate the most. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.